Hi, it's Monday, the 30th of December, and we're here to look at how the new moon of today, that's both the sun and moon in Capricorn, is lining up for a three-step plan which will unfold in 2025. So, what we'll do first of all is we'll go to the chart and I'll share that with you. Okay, so let's take this a step at a time. Right. So, this is the chart of the moment, actually. I've only just opened it. So we've got the sun up here on the mid-heaven. This is the top of the chart, and it's at 9 degrees of Capricorn. The moon at the moment is at 4 degrees of Capricorn, so it has another 5 degrees to go, which will take about 10 hours, and then we'll have the exact new moon. Now, let's just have a look at the quality of this new moon, because I think it's really important to grasp not just the quality of that, which is important, but also the rest of the chart and how it ties in. There is a story here. And so let's just start at the beginning. So, this chart with this concentration on Capricorn feels very realistic. There is an earthiness, and the earthiness is absolutely palpable. It's with there's a, all right, there's a concentration in Capricorn, but there's also a concentration on the presence of Earth, both in the planets, the Earth planets, and also the zodiac signs. The weighting of them, the power of them is leading towards this earthy feel to the chart, which is feminine in nature, obviously, as in a yin way. So with this earth, we enter then the world of sensation. So that's sensation, but the sensation is of the senses. So it's a time when things feel earthy, real, and palpable. And there's a strong awareness of the physicality as well, the body, the touch of things. There was even a report this morning on social touch that a psychologist or psychiatrist had done about lockdowns and how they affected something called social touch, which I thought was in line with the day in terms of the astrology. So we have here earthy values being heightened. Now, these earthy values will consist of things like housing, clothing, the things that make us feel warm or secure. And I think also there is a sense of restfulness, as in to be rested. Right, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stop the share for a moment and just talk to you about this, and then I'll go back to it again. So there is almost an instruction to be still. And this is a sign, there are signs of gestating. Now, I just want to just cover what gestation and what gestating means. It means that we're in a process, that something is moving and forming and growing and maturing beneath the general activity of the day. Something in the collective, in the invisible collective, in the collective unconscious, is gestating almost like an incubation. It's incubating, like a pregnancy, for instance, or a seed before it erupts and becomes a seedling. So I want to just go back to the chart for a second and just look at the other signs of gestating, which lead us to, or me to, this conclusion. So, okay. Well, first of all, we've got Pluto and Ceres up here, and they are still opposite Mars. The importance of these two getting together, and they're quite wide now, it's 7 degrees, but nevertheless, this is still a very important aspect for the times that we're in. There are two particularly important ones for the beginning of 2025. This is the first one with Mars opposite Pluto conjunct Ceres, and the other one is I'm afraid going to be Eris and Chiron, which I will come to at another time. Right. So what we've got here with Ceres, which is the Roman version of Demeter, the Greek Demeter, and of course Persephone, Demeter, um, Proserpina, Ceres, they're all aspects of the feminine, but they are aspects of a particular type, an aspect of the feminine, which is to do with growing vegetation, growing babies, growing things from seeds, human seed, um, ears of corn, the seeds of wheat, and growing them into what they must become. So this aspect, so close to Pluto, of course, Hades, in Greek mythology, it takes us into the mythology of Persephone, who was taken into the underworld by Hades. And so there is a definite sense there of us looking at the fact that everything has been, or rather the feminine, has been taken and is taking things into the underworld for gestation in the same way that Hades took Persephone from Demeter's arms. So the mother and the child were separated when Hades erupted in his gold chariot and kidnapped Persephone and took her down into his world to make her his queen. Um, Traditionally, we say that's when the season is dying, when vegetation withers and dies, and because of Demeter's mourning, the world is barren, the earth is barren until Persephone rejoins her on the surface, and at that point, spring arrives and everything starts growing again. So we've got symbolism of gestation as in it is winter and things are just percolating or incubating under the surface. So the Earth at the moment, and we're in an earthy atmosphere at the moment, is mourning the loss of vigorous growth. And I want to repeat that because I think it's really important. The Earth at the moment is mourning the loss of vigorous growth. And the atmosphere is in mourning of the loss of vigorous growth. We're at a standstill. We're treading water. We're at a high tide or a low tide when we have slack water. We are in this period of just holding whilst a process takes place. Okay, another indicator of the gestation of the current times is the fact that we've got Uranus in Taurus. Now, Uranus is a symbol of action and breakthrough. This is disabled. Dysfunction of Uranus is almost disabled in Taurus. Taurus can lock Uranus down. It's a very dense Earth zodiac sign. So the fixity, the fixedness, and the solidity, and the resistance to change, which Taurus can impose on Uranus, is keeping Uranus out of play. Now, this is going to change, of course, when Uranus moves into Gemini in July. But for now, it's just another symbol in the sky that we are on a holding pattern. We've also got, and I'll just share again so you can look at this. There we go. We've also got Saturn complicating things here for two symbols, two planetary symbols, which would really, together like this, be implying a period of fast growth, a period of high movement, high activity. Well, it is in some ways. It's the holiday season. Everybody's traveling to meet their families somewhere. But it's physical travel. We're in physicality again. These are usually symbols of rapid development, not just journeys. And that rapid development is being stalled by Saturn. One more sign that everything is being held in gestation. So I'm going to stop sharing again now. Right. So I'm describing the main parts of this three-step plan, which I think the cosmos has got as in at the moment. So we're in the gestating, the processing, the incubation. I've pointed to several different aspects in astrology, which, as far as I'm concerned, make that a proven case. Okay, the next step. Well, there is a change which happens at the end of March, and that is Neptune moving into Aries, a huge move, admittedly, a massive move. This is air changing, environment changing, life changing stuff, particularly for those of us with Aries, a prominent Aries presence in our birth chart. But Neptune is going to weaken Aries, it's not going to strengthen it. And so, really, this is just more of the feminine creeping and gaining more ground in the massive battle between feminine and masculine, yang and yin, which I've talked about so often in the sky and the cosmos around us. There is a fierce battle going on between the two. Okay, so that happens now. By the time we get to July, when Uranus breaks out of, and I mean breaks out of Taurus, right, and bounces into Gemini, an air sign, and Uranus is an air planet, that is when we will see the biggest breakthrough. And that is the part two to this three-step plan. We are going to see a huge shake-up at that point. There is going to be a release of so much pent-up information and gnosis, which is being accumulated whilst everything is in this gestation or this incubating period. Do you see now how it's all sort of like going to play out? So fascinating stuff. Pluto started this with its move into Aquarius, where it will change the quality of communication and information. And now we've got this plunging into the part where it's gestating and processing and incubating, and we can see, because of that planetary move of Uranus's, that there is going to be a moment when the door is flung open and everything starts to pile out. Now, I said a three-step process. The third step, I think, is going to be, and I'm just going to, let me just share again, 1 second. Here we go. Share. So the third step is going to be all of this stuff being able to reveal itself in 2025. So it's not just Neptune moving into Aries. It then goes back into Pisces and then back into Aries. That's a lot of backwards and forwards through the zodiac signs. Uranus, whilst it moves into Gemini, then goes back into Taurus and then back into Gemini again, backwards and forwards. And then we have Saturn going from Pisces into Aries and then Pisces and then Aries again. Okay, now the year ahead is going to be full of energy, activity, change. It's going to be the results of the processing which is happening now. Sorry, I'll just stop showing again. Are you seasick yet? It's going to be a year that is full of revealing revelation because of the processing that is happening now. Now, I wonder if you have, in the recent few weeks, thought, oh, there's something that is just not happening. It's as if I'm waiting at a bus stop for a bus that just is not arriving. That there's a sense of, well, something's got to happen soon. I feel as if I'm waiting for a storm that is always They're on the horizon with the distant rumbling, but never arriving in my garden. So if you have been thinking that, then you have been tuned in. And I think this particular new moon is something that allows us to really see this with great clarity. If there's one thing that the earth element is capable of doing, is making something realistic, making something down to earth, making us aware of the physical sensation of things. Now, I said all this when I first opened this video, and I'm repeating it now because I think it's useful to see the loop and how it's happening, see the swirling and how these things are all developing and moving on. I think it's a time of great revelation and, for me, excitement and change. And I'm looking forward to it, quite frankly. Right. Okay, I'm going to say goodbye now. And I will see you very soon. I just had a week off, but I had to. I'm now back at work again. Okay, it was lovely to see you. Thank you very much. Bye.